In just 5 days, we are going to have the next monster SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama. Should be a great one again. And the coaches are already talking. Nick Saban spoke on Sunday evening about Georgia, about his team, and also talked a little bit about Carson Beck, who has safely become one of the best quarterbacks in college football this year. Going to be a tough test for both Carson Beck against a really good pass defense for Alabama, but he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks they've seen this year as well. They've seen some good ones, but they know that Carson Beck is, on that level as one of the best in the country. Here's what Nick Saban had to say about Carson Beck yesterday on Sunday. He said, first off, they have a great passing game. Their quarterback is really, really good. I think he does a really, really good job of executing their offense. He doesn't make very many bad reads. He throws the ball in the right place. He's very accurate with the ball. He throws it on time. He understands their offense very, very well. Executes the play that's called and distributes the ball correctly, almost flawlessly. So that's a lot of praise for Carson Beck. And Nick Saban's the best coach in college football for a reason. He got it right. Carson Beck is top 10 in college football in both completion percentage. He's 6th in the country, 72.4%. In passing yards, he's 10th in the country in passing yards, 3,495 yards. If he plays 3 more games and does well in all 3 of those games, he should eclipse that 4,000-yard mark. Will be one of the best seasons of any Georgia quarterback of all time. If you really think about it, if he does play well in these next 3 games, brings Georgia their 3rd consecutive title. He gets one for himself. It will be one of the best seasons anyone has ever had at Georgia. Carson Beck's 2023 season will be remembered forever, but he's right. He does distribute the ball well. 7 different pass catchers have caught over 20 passes this year through the regular season. That's a lot. Carson Beck knows the position. He understands the quarterback position. It's not all about arm talent and throwing the ball as far as you can. It's reading defenses and going to the right guy and distributing the ball, not focusing on just one guy, even though you have one guy in Brock Bowers who is arguably pound for pound the best player in college football, right? But he knows the offense. He perfected it under Todd Monken, and it hasn't changed a whole lot under Mike Bobo. Kirby said earlier this year, we're running the same type of stuff, same type of plays. We're not going to completely go away with what helped us average 40 points a game and 2 straight national titles. And Mike was on the roster, assistant tight ends coach last year, as kind of, Todd Monken's kind of right-hand man. He knows what he's doing as well, and Georgia's lighting it up offensively. And Carson Beck, with his weapons coming back, with Brock Bowers back, with Ladd McConkey back, Ra Thomas, guys who didn't play against Georgia Tech, I think Georgia's offense is going to be fine. He's very, very good, and he's made plenty of NFL type of throws, but just throws. Yeah, NFL throws. The ball he hit to Dylan Bell, I thought Dylan Bell had caught the ball against Georgia Tech. I was not there. I actually finally got to watch the game with some buddies back home. We had all the games going on, so I took that week off. Dylan Weber subbed in for me, covering the Tech game. He's awesome. He's the man, and we'll see more of him in this game, SEC Championship. This is a big one, and we're going to have you covered. We've got different stuff we're going to do. The Dawg Post crew is going to have you covered from top to bottom, literally the top of the stadium to the bottom, and more on that over on Dawg Post. I've got lots of numbers, different numbers, and a full breakdown of this game early on and what Nick had to say about Carson and why he's right. And, they've defensively, that's where I'm going with this. I'm reading my story that I have written over on Dawg Post. But they face some really good quarterbacks too. They are 15th in the country in passing yards allowed, giving up 184 yards a game through the air. That's really not bad at all, considering they've gone against Jaden Daniels, the best player in college football, should win the Heisman right now, and Quinn Ewers, who was playing really well earlier this year. That kid can play. He was a number 1 recruit, Trevor Lawrence type of recruit for a reason, and he is playing better and better. Probably hasn't lived up to that number 1 standard or that hype, but he is a good quarterback. So you've gone against both of those guys, including Jackson Dart, who's good, not great. He's fine. 15th in the country is not bad. They also rank 15th in passing efficiency defense and 17th in total defense. This would be the best passing defense Carson Beck, Mike Bobo, and this Georgia offense goes up against all season. I think Auburn is 2nd, but Alabama's ranked 15th basically in pass defense, and Auburn is 30th. And then Georgia Tech is 44th. So Georgia's not gone up against a lot of really good secondaries and, just pass defenses in general. Now, the numbers are going to say that because they play teams like Georgia who are just going nuts on everyone, scoring, at will at times. But, Georgia and Alabama, they're around that 10, 12, 15 range in total defense and whatnot. I have the numbers right here. But I gotta focus. I gotta focus. But it's because Penn State and Ohio State and Michigan, the three kind of at the top when you look about total defense, rush defense, pass defense, they don't play any offense. If you gave Georgia Ohio State's schedule and threw Penn State to the Dogs, they'd give up maybe 3 or 7 points, no yards throughout the game. Georgia and Alabama's defense would be a lot better if they played Big Ten offense, is basically what I'm saying. They can't play offense up there. And when you're still considered one of the best defenses in the country and you're playing in the SEC right now with a lot of teams with high caliber, quarterbacks and offenses, the numbers aren't going to be there statistically. But in context, Alabama's defense, I think, is a little better than maybe the numbers and statistics say. And same with Georgia's. They're two quality teams across the board. I think Georgia has the better quarterback. I think Alabama's Jalen Milroe is obviously a better athlete and runner, and he's going to have to use his legs a lot if they're going to beat the Dogs. I don't think he can throw their way to victory through 4 quarters. Georgia's got the better quarterback, but this will be the best pass defense that Georgia's seen for sure. And this will be one of the best quarterbacks they see. So it'll be interesting. I think a lot of this game could come down to coaching, but the coach, I also think that it's just going to be who executes the game plan better. And that's going to be determined a lot by talent. I think these two teams are neck and neck as far as overall talent across the board on the roster. Should be a really good game. It could come down to just a few plays. I think it'll be a touchdown or less type of game. I think this will be a deep fourth quarter game. Coaching, executing the game plan, and which teams can make the big third down stop or the big third down conversion when the game is on the line at the highest level. Got to make a play. Which team is able to make that? Which player is able to have that natural playmaking ability and make a big game-changing type of play? The opportunities are going to be out there for both teams. It's going to, as a whole, coaching is going to be important in scheming and changing up the game plans. But at the end of the day, someone or maybe a number of guys are going to have to make those game-changing type of plays. And that could be the difference in this ball game. But Carson Beck is very good. He is efficient. I think he's pushing his way into a high draft pick. If he goes out and goes 300 yards, 2 touchdowns against Alabama, brings another SEC title to Athens, maybe they get lined up with the number 4 Florida State. I think Georgia would crush Florida State, and I think Carson Beck would have a fun time doing that as a Jacksonville kid too. Being from that state, I think he would love that opportunity. And then maybe Oregon, who I think is going to beat Washington. I think they would get in. I think Michigan is going to beat Iowa, so they would get in. So if you're Texas, you got to have some type of chaos. I think if Oregon beats Washington, I think they'd have to be in, right? If Washington wins, they're in. So Texas needs some help. But at the end of the day, Nick Saban knows what he's getting into. He knows that he and his defense have a tough task handling Carson Beck and Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. Georgia's offense is versatile. Kendall Milton is running through everyone. He's another big-time weapon that continues to be sharpened week after week. Ra Thomas being back is huge. Dylan Bell has become more of a playmaker the last 2 weeks for sure. Dom Lovett with a big touchdown catch. Oscar Delp is always there if you need him, can make some plays for you. But they're very healthy. I think they'll be healthy. I mean, Kirby said Brock Bowers could have gone, but he was just a little too sore. But I think Ladd McConkey will play against Alabama. Same with Brock Bowers, same with Ra Thomas, and I think Tate Ratledge will too. So it could be the healthiest they've been all year coming into this week. We will see. Thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate it. Check us out over on Dawg Post. You can sign up. We've got a free newsletter. That link is down below. You can read all about what Nick Saban said about Carson, what Nick Saban said about Kirby, everything. Now we're pumping out stories over on Dawg Post. A lot of them are free, some aren't, but signing up to our newsletter is free. But check us out over on the website. We got some traveling to do. We might have to go to New Orleans. We might have to go to Houston. So we really, really appreciate the help from y'all and our subscribers over on the website to make that all happen. And really appreciate that. What do you think? Drop a comment in the section below. What do you think about Carson Beck? How is he going to do against Alabama? Feeling good? Feeling nervous? Let me know in the comment section. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you over on the website.